Well, we have been observing dramatic climate-related impacts this year. One of them has been recently in Spain, that over 200 people have died as a consequence of floods. These climate-related impacts are related to the increases in average temperature across the world and also in individual countries. For example, the data that we have suggests that in the last few years, the average temperature for individual countries on average has grown by 30 days. This is just incredibly significant. So currently the OECD has developed a comprehensive data set on climate-related hazards, which shows how these impacts have been moving in the last 40 years. And it does confirm that climate-related hazards are dramatic, will increase over time, and are affecting large populations. Well, the International Programme for Action on Climate, or IPAC, is a new program at the OECD. What we're doing is we're tracking key information to provide data, foundational data and indicators for countries to help them monitor their progress on climate action in general, and specifically on climate-related hazards, targets and emissions. We are not on track to meet our climate goals. We're observing that there is a significant ambition gap, by which we mean that current targets on greenhouse gas emission reductions by countries are considerably lower than they should be to achieve the Paris Agreement goals. And secondly, we're observing what we call an implementation gap. Even those targets might not be met because countries are not complying or fulfilling their commitments. Well, I think policymakers can make three key steps to move forward. The first one is we need to enhance ambition. Currently, we're estimating that emissions if all targets are met, we will have more or less the same emissions that we have today. And the IPCC has estimated that the reduction required to reach the Paris Agreement temperature goals should be around 43% of emission reductions. This year, the COP29 will be in Baku, which oversees, among other issues, the Paris Agreement. And one of the things that will be discussed this year is to increase ambition. The second thing countries must do is to increase their effective policy implementation. We're observing that countries are not complying with increased climate action, but in the last 2 years, climate action has only increased by 1%. And finally, we're seeing these impacts on communities and livelihoods. So we need countries to increase the capacity to deal with the climate change impacts through adaptation plans and policies directed towards the most vulnerable people.